Hello, my name is Curtis and I am the youth director at Sioux Falls First United Methodist Church. Welcome to Sunday School. Our Bible verse today is from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24. No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be loyal to the one and have contempt for the other. You cannot serve both God and wealth. This is the word of the Lord.
Pondering.
Where should I hide me treasure? I don't want people to find it. But I want to find it later. Where should I put it? I'm sick of trying to find a place to put it.
Uh-oh. Sulking.
Oh, hey, Dorito. Here's a Dorito. Where do you think I should hide me treasure?
What do you like better? The treasure or the adventure?
Well, the most important thing is the adventure, of course. Sailing the seven seas. Finding new places. Seeing new people. Taking the treasure.
Perhaps the adventure is the treasure.
Maybe the real treasure is the adventure.
Who copies who?
You are a genius.
I'm a genius. Anchors away.
One of my favorite bands of all time is a band that I will always come back to no matter how long I am enthralled with another band, is Mumford & Sons. Mumford & Sons started out as a folk rock band with an upright bass, a banjo, a piano, and a guitar, and even a drum. I mentioned 5 instruments, but in the early days, there were only 4 people in the band. So someone was pulling double duty. That man was Marcus Mumford. Marcus Mumford played the lead guitar, and he played it in such a way that it's really hard to keep up with his drum patterns because they're so complex and so fast. While he was playing guitar, he was also singing, which is a feat unto itself, but also he was playing a kick drum and a tambourine with his feet. One with one foot and one with the other foot. If you don't already know, I consider myself just a little bit of a musician. About 10 years ago, I got my first ukulele, and I was so excited when I got it, and I started playing it, and I absolutely hated it. For a while, anyways, let me explain. Learning to play most instruments and picking up any instrument for the first time can be a bit like patting your head and then rubbing your belly at the same time. Switching from an instrument that you know really, really well to an instrument that you don't know at all, or maybe know only a little bit of it, is a bit like patting your head and rubbing your belly, and then switching to rubbing your head and patting your belly in just a matter of moments. It's hard. Oftentimes, when we see a musician, especially one that's getting paid for doing it, we are witnessing the results of many, many years of playing, failing, and trying again. Eventually, I got the hang of playing a couple of different instruments, but I would consider myself mediocre at best with any of them. No matter how much I practiced, I still can't do the thing with the playing and the singing of the music, and I certainly can't measure up to what Marcus Mumford did with playing the guitar and singing and percussion all at the same time. It's not like I didn't try, though. I did, a lot. Maybe a little bit to my roommate's chagrin at the time, but when I would try, I would be really good at one of the things, but not the other. I could do each of them individually, I could sing, or I could play the instrument, but I can't do all of it at once. In our Bible verse for today, Jesus talks about this very thing when it comes to God. Jesus tells us that it is impossible to serve two masters, or it's impossible to serve two masters fully. You're either going to love one and hate the other, or your loyalties will be skewed with one and you'll kind of like the other. This verse is right out of the middle of the Sermon on the Mount. It's Jesus' longest sermon and generally considered to contain the central tenets of Christian discipleship. Earlier on in this chapter, Jesus talks about how we shouldn't gather up our treasures on earth. Rather, we should look to heaven and to God for our treasure. Jesus finishes up his thought with our verse for today when he says, "You cannot serve both God and money." See, if you live to serve both God and money, you're going to hate one and love the other. You're going to serve one because it's what you should do rather than what you want to do. To stick with the analogy, it's hard to play two instruments at once while also singing. In other translations, the word for money is replaced with the word mammon. Now, it's entirely possible that mammon could have been some kind of regional word for money or just some old slang for money, like how we use words like bucks or cash or dough. But some biblical scholars think that mammon could have been an idol, and not just any idol, but the actual personified god of material wealth. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve two gods. You will love one and hate the other, or tolerate one and show loyalty to the other. Which of these gods is worthy of our praise? There was another point to this too. Money is a part of our life. Our current world, much like the ancient world, was set up around money and trade. We need money to put a roof over our heads and to put food on our tables. It's a tool to keep ourselves going in the world that we humans created for ourselves. But God doesn't want to be part of our lives like money is a part of our lives. God wants to be our whole lives. When we give everything to God, it shows that we trust in God to provide for all of our needs. When we devote our lives to God first, the things God puts into our lives serves us instead of us serving it. Things become our tools to help the world know the love of God. There are some questions for you to answer in the description down below. My email is also down there so that we can have a discussion or a dialogue about today's lesson. Let me know what you're thinking. If you are new to Sioux Falls First United Methodist Church and would like to learn a little bit more about us, you can check out our website at sfumc.org. Until next time.